So, you really think she's living her best life without you? That she moved on like you were just some old post on her feed? Okay, sit down and get ready. Every woman has a weak spot, a moment when her ego splits right down the middle. And if you know how to push the right buttons, buddy, she won't just freak out. She'll practically crawl back begging for your attention. Now, there are some clueless guys out there who think no contact means disappearing and magically waiting for her to come back crying. Big mistake. If you pull this stunt the wrong way, she forgets you faster than a left swipe on Tinder. But if you do it the right way, it doesn't matter how cold, calculating, or indifferent she might seem now, her ego just won't handle it. Because at the end of the day, the female mind has one simple rule. Every woman wants to feel like she's still got you wrapped around her finger. But here's the plot twist. When a guy she ditched, ignored, or turned into a fool suddenly disappears the right way, the game flips. Suddenly, she's not the one in charge anymore. And that shift in power stings a whole lot worse than a desperate paragraph or some sad attempt to convince her to come back. Properly executed silence is the deadliest weapon there is. So, if you've ever caught yourself thinking, how do I really make her miss me? Or, does this no-contact thing actually work? Listen up, because I'm about to tell you exactly what triggers that panic switch in her mind and what you absolutely can't do if you want her chasing after you. Check it out. First, I'm gonna show you how no contact fries a woman's brain and why it's one of the heaviest psychological blows out there. Then, I'll expose the dumb mistake that makes everything crumble and turns you into a random side character in her story. And finally, the cherry on top, the unbeatable move that'll make her lose her cool and start wanting you back. Think she'll never miss you? Get ready, because by the end of this, you'll see that the difference between being forgotten and being wanted is all in how you play the game. But before we begin, a little message from yours truly. This video only exists because someone else had the decency to like and subscribe before you got here. Now it's your turn to pay it forward and stop freeloading. Do your part, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a thanks algorithm in the comments. Because if you keep watching in silence, this message won't reach around the block. Alright, enough chit-chat. Let's get down to business. Number 1, why no contact shatters her ego. Let's make one thing crystal clear. No contact isn't just about vanishing. It's not some childish hide-and-seek game. We're talking about pulling the emotional rug out from under her and wrecking a core psychological pillar for any woman, male validation. Women don't handle breakups the same way men do. A guy gets punched in the face right away. He feels it hard and fast. A woman, she walks out of the relationship feeling on top of the world. She's got this illusion of total control, thinking that if she ever gets bored or misses you, you'll be right there, like a loyal pup waiting at the door. And then, bam, no contact hits. When you truly disappear, no explanation, no breadcrumbs, not even a hint, you're not just walking out of her life. You're bursting that little safety bubble of hers. You're proving that, yes, she can lose her grip on the situation. And trust me, that messes with her head more than you can imagine. Think about it for a second. During the relationship, who was always the first to text? Who tried to fix things after every fight? If that person was you, congratulations. You've trained her to believe your attention was guaranteed. And now, out of the blue, poof, gone, evaporated. At first, sure, she'll act unbothered. Posting smiling pics, living it up, pretending your ancient history. But inside her head, chaos begins. Why did he disappear? Did he forget me already? Is he seeing someone else? And without noticing, she starts doing exactly what she swore she'd never do, thinking about you. But here's the critical point. This only works if you do it right. If she even senses you're still around, even from a distance, it's game over. If you drop a like, reply to a story, throw a vague hint in a post, that's it. You've handed control right back to her. That's the slip-up that turns a powerful no contact into a joke. The one that doesn't make her miss you, but reminds her she's still calling the shots. The mistake most guys make without realizing it. And that's exactly what we're tackling now. The fatal error that kills the impact of no contact and turns it into worthless silence. If you want your absence to be a psychological bomb, not just another quiet retreat, pay attention. Because here's where most guys sabotage themselves. Number 2, the mistake that makes her forget you fast. There's one screw-up that turns no contact into a laughable fail. You pretend to vanish, but still lurk around like a puppy peeking under the door. Worst part, you might not even notice you're doing it. Oh, you stopped texting her? Congrats. But riddle me this. Are you still watching her stories? Still liking her pics? Still visiting her profile to see if something's new? Yep. You might think that's harmless, but in her head, that little peek means only one thing. He's still here. He still wants me. Ugh. And if she knows she still has you wrapped around her finger, why in the world would she miss you? Real no contact isn't just about not texting. It's about vanishing from her radar. She has to feel in every inch of her inflated ego that she lost her hold on you. So here's the cold truth. If a woman thinks she can get you back anytime, she'll never value you. Not in a million years. Maybe she'll get a flicker of curiosity and drop a random message to test the waters. But deep down, she knows she's in control. And as long as she's in control, man, she's not gonna freak out. But when you really drop off her map, when she doesn't even see a single like from you anymore, when she tries to check on you, only to find a digital ghost, that's when things get interesting. Fair warning though, if you pull this off correctly, she's gonna feel it. And she's gonna react. She might start posting more, just to provoke some emotional reaction from you. She might send a casual text to see if you're still out there. She might dangle some emotional bait, hoping you'll bite. And that's where the real secret comes in. Because simply disappearing isn't enough. You gotta disappear the right way. In the next section, I'm gonna show you exactly how to turn your absence into a device that makes her lose her mind. Get ready, because now it's about to get serious. Number 3, how to make her freak out and chase you. Now that you know the mistakes that turn no contact into a flop, here's the crucial moment. How to make her genuinely freak out. And here's the truth nobody tells you. Disappearing for the sake of disappearing doesn't accomplish squat. If it were that simple, just vanish and wait, then any guy who hides out long enough would have his ex crawling back. But guess what? That hardly ever happens. Wanna know why? Because silence alone is worthless. What really hits her ego isn't the fact you just vanished. It's what happens during the time you're gone. Pay close attention because this is gold. When a guy disappears, a woman's first reaction is predictable. Oh, he's probably miserable. He's probably sulking. He's just waiting for me to give him a sign. Then time goes by, and nothing. No likes. No sad stories trying to prove he's happy. No cryptic messages aimed at her. 0 hints. And that's when her brain starts to fry. Here's the master stroke. She hears through the grapevine indirectly that you haven't just disappeared. You're actually better than ever. And look, don't you dare do that cringy move of posting forced photos, trying to show off how great you are. That just screams desperation. You don't want her thinking you're trying too hard. Your approach is way more elegant and way more lethal. You simply improve your life for real and let her find out naturally. You go off the grid, but meanwhile you're leveling up your life. Your social circle expands. Your fitness is on point. Your confidence skyrockets. You're going to new places, hanging with new people. And eventually, without you lifting a finger, word gets back to her. Maybe mutual friends mention you. Maybe she tries to stalk your profile and realizes you're not lurking, but others are interacting with you. Maybe she just senses your absence in a way she can't ignore anymore. And when that happens, she panics. Because in a woman's mind, a guy who disappears and comes back stronger translates to one thing: he's moving on. And if he's moving on, he's turning into a prize that some other woman will snatch up. And nothing, and I mean nothing, slams a woman's bruised ego harder than the idea of losing a man to someone else. Now there's a specific moment when this realization really lands. A moment when the impact hits hardest and she sees she's lost total control. That's what we're talking about next. Boom! Now pay attention, champ! If you're sick of being her doormat accepting scraps of attention while she treats you like some disposable backup plan, then it's time to wake up. Down in the video description, there's an ebook waiting for you. And guess what it'll teach you? How to stop being her footstool and become a real challenge. How to command respect from any woman or learn not to care if she won't. How to flip the script and make them want to win you over. The world doesn't have mercy on pushovers, my friend. Either you become the guy who sets the terms, or you stay the clown who takes whatever he can get. It's your call. Number 4, the exact moment she realizes she lost you. Every woman has a limit. A point where her ego crumbles and her doubt morphs into sheer panic. But hold on, it doesn't happen at the start of no contact. Early on, she'll do her usual act, posting pictures, going out, living her best life like nothing ever happened. But there's a precise moment when reality hits like a piano dropping from the 10th floor. When does that happen? It varies. If she was used to your 24/7 attention, if you were that guy who was always available, always chasing, then the impact lands faster. If you had already shown serious emotional dependence, she might suspect you're bluffing at first, then realize you're not. But most of the time, that ego crash happens somewhere between 2 and 6 weeks of absolute silence. That's the window where her mind starts to spiral. And the signs that she's freaking out are obvious. She starts posting way more than usual, but not just random posts. They're strategically calculated. Vague quotes, cryptic captions, photos trying to show she's living her best life. Maybe even a staged shot with some other guy. Anything to spark a reaction from you. If she still has any access to your profile, she might start liking old pics or show up in your story views, just to make sure you notice her name there. If the pressure gets too intense, she might even message you. Here's where things get interesting. That message will never be straightforward. Forget the fantasy of her writing a whole confession saying she messed up. Instead, you'll get something like, "Hey, what's up?" out of nowhere with zero context. "I had a dream about you." Pure emotional bait. "How have you been?" acting like it's just casual curiosity. Now pay attention, because this is the most critical moment. That text does not mean she's ready to come back. It's a test. Her mind's in conflict. On one side, her ego won't accept that she lost you. On the other, the uncertainty is starting to eat her alive. Here's the catch. 90% of guys ruin everything at this stage. The classic mistake? Responding way too fast. Showing too much excitement. Jumping on the first sign like a puppy overjoyed for a pat on the head. And when they do that, poof, the spell is broken. She realizes she still owns your soul. Then she calms down, anxiety gone. She knows she's still in control and can reel you back whenever she feels like it. But if you understand what's going on and play your cards right, the game flips completely. Because now comes the most important piece. That moment when she tests you one final time before she truly surrenders. And that's exactly what we're covering next. Number 5, she'll test you before she gives in. Don't be a sucker. If you've made it this far, congrats. You're already ahead of 90% of guys who can't even go 2 weeks without running back like a lost puppy. But now comes the riskiest part. Because before admitting defeat, before accepting she might have truly lost control, she's going to test you. And these tests aren't random. They follow a pattern. They're carefully orchestrated tactics to see if you're still the same easy access dude, or if you finally stopped being her doormat. Here are the 3 classic tests that destroy the weak. Test 1, the cold contact. You know those random half-baked messages? Hey, you good? Good for what exactly? Wow, I just thought of you today. And I've been losing sleep. Not. How are you? Like she suddenly cares. This is not an invitation for a real conversation. It's a thermometer. She wants to see how fast you respond. If you're still right there, ready to crawl back. If she still holds any power over you. And if you take the bait and fire back within seconds, all excited. Game over. She doesn't need to miss you anymore because now she knows she can still pull your strings. Test 2, the guilt game. So you disappeared, huh? Couldn't even say hi? Guess you forgot all about me. These lines are pure manipulation. She's trying to put you on the defensive. If you respond with something like, "Oh, it's not like that. I've just been busy. I thought you wanted space. You just signed your fool's contract." In her head, your silence wasn't a real choice. It was just a sad attempt to get attention, and the moment she batted her eyes, you came running. Game over. Test 3, the fake friendship. We can still be friends, right? This one's a classic. She wants to tuck you into that standby zone. If you agree, congrats, you just got demoted to the buddy role while she moves on with other guys. Let's be real. Do you actually want to be her BFF? The shoulder she cries on while she dates someone else? If the answer is yes, you can stop reading here and embrace your clown status. But if you're actually trying to take back control, understand this test is just a trap. How to pass without blowing it. A lot of folks think the only option is to be rude or ghost her completely. Wrong. The magic isn't in not replying. It's in replying without showing a shred of emotion. Keep it neutral. Short and to the point. Don't show excitement. Don't try to continue the conversation. And above all, do not start chasing again after that. For example, her. You've been MIA, huh? You. Yeah, busy life, and that's it. No questions, no chat. Her. Let's be friends? You. I think it's better we go our separate ways. All good. Close the door calmly, without drama, and don't fall into her trap. If you pass these tests without caving, something far more potent happens. She realizes she might have truly lost you. And when she finally gets that, the game flips completely. Now the final choice is yours. And that's exactly what we'll talk about next. Number 6. The decision is in your hands. What now? Now that you know how this entire thing works, there's just one question left. Do you actually want this woman back? Because if you followed everything I laid out, one thing's for sure. She's gonna feel the impact. Sooner or later, she'll figure out she lost her grip. She'll feel your absence like a punch to the ego. And eventually, she'll try something. Maybe she'll message you out of the blue. Maybe she'll fire off some cryptic social media posts just to see if you'll react. Maybe she'll randomly show up where you hang out. But here's the most important question of all. Do you still want to play her game? Because now the power's in your hands. And let me drop a harsh truth most guys only learn after too much heartbreak. No contact was never about getting her back. Never. No contact was always about getting you back. Because when it's all said and done, it doesn't matter if she comes back or not. What matters is who you became in the process. If, after all this, you still want her, fine. Now you get to decide. Now you're the one in control. But if along the way, you realized you deserve better, that your life can't revolve around one person's validation, that you no longer need her, then congratulations, my friend, because that is the real victory. Because the day you stop needing someone is the day you're finally free. And now I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried no contact? How did she react? Did you hold out or crack too soon? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear your story.